Prior to presenting the budget proposals in Parliament today, the President commented on the country's economic situation and the background in preparing the budget.
Lord Buddha has elucidated on a concept called Samajivi Katha. He explained this concept in the Vyagga Sutra. The concept elaborates on how to balance our budget. But for the majority of the 75 years following the independence, our spending has often diverged from our generated revenue. We resorted to borrowing or printing money to provide jobs, increase salaries, distribute free rice, offer relief, and maintain state-owned enterprises. In the Vyagga Sutra, the Lord Buddha has emphasized that we should borrow for investment rather than for consumption. But we borrowed for consumption. In the sutra, in Anguttara Chakka Nipata, specifically points out that it is very dangerous to borrow and pay interest in this manner. Our economy collapsed completely, leading us to a status of bankruptcy. The situation reached a point where we felt as if we were left not with a country, but we were in a state akin to hell. No one stepped up to accept the challenge of rescuing the country in the face of this challenge. We successfully redirected the economy, which was derailed and collapsed, to get back on track. This is the moment to implement enduring and sustainable actions. To propel the economy forward, these actions must be undertaken. It is through these measures that we can fully rejuvenate the economy, rescue it from the brink of collapse. This is not an easy task. You might tell fairy tales, but the progress of a country cannot be achieved through such narratives. A country cannot be developed in making false promises. The country moved backwards because of the electoral promises made by political parties throughout time. We have witnessed that the ultimate result of this is the country becoming bankrupt. Unfortunately, many segments of the population have not come to realize this yet. I beseech you that we should stop propagating lies for political motives. Let's be honest with ourselves. Even without increasing the revenue, salaries can be increased. But how? We have to print money, or else we borrow from a foreign country, or else impose new taxes. That is against the Samajivi Katha principle. Such actions may again drive the country downwards. Some political groups are against restructuring the Ceylon Electricity Board as an efficient institution. They demand to reduce the power tariff at any cost. This will lead us again to be trapped in the same vicious cycle. It is against the Samajivi Katha concept. 93 billion rupees is spent each month to finance the salary bill of the government. 70 billion rupees is required for the social welfare schemes such as Aspasuma, Elders Allowance, pensions, etc. Meanwhile, 220 billion rupees is spent to settle loan interest payments. The public expenditure spent on these requirements is 383 billion rupees per month. The government revenue collected within the first 9 months of the year 2023 is 215 billion rupees. The shortage is 168 billion rupees. To meet this shortage, it is compelled to obtain more loans. Our revenue target for this year is 3,415 billion rupees. Out of that, we have collected 2,410 billion rupees so far. The major portion of the government revenue, 35%, is spent on public servant salaries and social welfare. The public suffers due to the loss-making state-owned enterprises. The loss of these institutions is borne by the public. The political groups that call them national treasures are piling up the burden on these loss-making state-owned enterprises and pulling the whole nation backward. This is a budget that constructs the future of the country. This is a budget that was prepared for the victory of the country. Some people denote this budget as an election budget. The reason is the presidential election and the general election is scheduled in the next year. Such a budget is designed to provide various concessions and salary increments aiming at an election victory. This is what happened during the past 75 years since the independence. However, this election budget is different. This is a budget that constructs the future of the country. This is a budget that was prepared for the victory of the country.